go again. One more, and maybe my accent will be stronger, I'm not sure. This piece is from an English class in high school. It's not good. It's not a good piece. That was British also. Has no title. It's basically a bunch of descriptions of people in a lobby. I think, is it called the lobby? No, I had another one that's called the lobby. Anywho. This might be good if you are an insomniac and you need a way to go to sleep. It's not going to be good, but it's going to be content, and isn't that what YouTube's about? They sat there waiting. Two of them were seated on the couch, looking very reserved and exhibiting their perfect posture. They wore their hair tied back in rather severe buns. One wore horn-rimmed spectacles. Their frequent twitches were the only things that decreased the effect of their air of superiority. Gazing lazily at the two of them was a young woman dressed in combat boots and a knit skirt. She slouched in the rocking chair in the corner with an increasingly irritated look on her face. She let her head fall back to look at the ceiling. Her nose ring was now even more obvious. A fidgety, middle-aged man sat in a straight-backed chair near the door. He had come in looking fleetingly at the others, but focusing mainly on the floor. He never seemed to be able to get comfortable in his hard seat. For lack of anything else to do, to make himself look occupied, he shuffled around the papers in his leather briefcase. Several feet and a coffee table away from the fidgety man sat a solemn black man. No. Why is that B circled? I did a capital. He wore a dress shirt and a jacket with tailored slacks. He sat upright and without moving in his chair. He made movements only to glance occasionally at his fellow gatherers. His mouth remained shut. He even seemed to clench his teeth periodically. Beneath the window, that was British, lying on the carpet on his stomach, was a small boy. Propped on his elbows, he read a picture book about the zoo. He studied the book intently until he began to nod off, like you will be doing soon. He leaned his chin heavily on one hand and then the other, only to snap his weary head back up to start all over again. Gazing admiringly at the boy under the window was a young couple. The woman was blonde and sported a ruffled knee-length dress. Her mate wore neatly pressed shorts and a glowingly clean shirt. His arm was crossed over his lap to hold her hand in his. She looked from him to the boy and back again, her eyes shining. He smiled weakly. Minutes passed. Hours came and went. Nearly one half of the people in the room had slumped over with their eyes closed. Those that remained awake and alert got up from their chairs. They approached the window. One of the men produced from his inside pocket a slip of paper. Glancing first at one of the others standing with him, he slid the paper into the machine's narrow slot. The machine came to life, and the whirring noises produced by its insides awakened and alarmed those who had dozed off. As suddenly as it had begun, the machine ceased its workings. The man who had been in possession of the slip of paper took a step back from the machine. No sound was heard. The door burst open suddenly, and the towering man in white stepped inside the room. The electronic sign he held flashed a message. "The doctor will see you now." Looking relieved, the man standing by the machine let out his breath and pulled his slip of paper out of the slot. After 4 years of rejecting it, the machine had finally accepted his appointment slip. Really bad. I like to read the teacher's notes. The bit about were the only things that decrease the effect of their air of superiority. She had this to say. This was this is Gail Meighan. I believe this is this was junior year. This was Gail Meighan. A nice image, but find a more rhythmic way to convey the idea. I had another thought, I'll get to it in a moment. For lack of anything else to do but make himself look occupied. She said again, a good image, but the initial phrase, for lack of ... is verbose and unrhythmic. True, Gail. Gail Meighan. You are correct. Bridget Dean, the teacher I had when I wrote the other story, The Farmer's Cat. Bridget Dean, I don't think would have circled the B, the capital B in Black Man, but Gail Meighan versus Bridget Dean, different stories. That makes more sense. When I initially started reading this, I thought it was Bridget Dean who had circled that B, but no, it was Gail Meighan, and that makes more sense. The bit about gatherers, what did Gail Meighan say? I'll turn it around, not that you can read it, it's very small. The reader needs more information by this point. Why are they assembled? She is correct. At the bottom, by now there's a guessing game going on between the reader and the writer. True. Final comment from Gail Meighan. A lovely group of descriptions, cleverly woven together, A-. But what was the point? We don't even know there's a machine till the last page. It's about people waiting for a doctor's appointment, and apparently this man waited 4 years for one. What? It's not an A- paper. But thanks Gail. And again, to all out there listening, I apologize for the faltering of this accent. I have tested its, what do you call, what's the word? And not endurance when you run, endurance, I suppose. Yes, I have tested its endurance today, and I have found out that it doesn't go much more than a page, if that. In any case, this is getting very long. Happy St. Patrick's Day.